welcome to Tomatoes, Poppies, and Everything Gardening. I'm Heather in Zone 7B-ish, and today we're going to do a garden tour. I have not done an official garden tour in probably since November of 2023, so I'm really excited to get out there in the garden and take you guys along. Gosh, it's been like at least a week since I've actually probably recorded a video, so it's kind of fun to get into making a video again for you guys. So what's been going on? Just this and that. It's been a busy weekend. I hope you guys all took the time to just reflect on Memorial Day weekend for those who have passed while serving for their country, and also enjoy some family time. We had 2 solid days of gatherings with family, and I'm all peopled out. Today's Tuesday following Memorial Day, and I'm all peopled out, and I'm ready just to kind of spend some time in the garden, take you guys along. So I've got a whole list here of video ideas that I'm going to be working on, but if you have any ideas on videos you'd like for me to work on, just put a comment down below. And I did make a playlist last night for my overwintered pepper videos. I just put them all into one playlist for you guys because I'm loving the peppers. I've already picked what, 3-4 jalapenos last week. I have more to pick this week, and it's only the end of May. So I will forever, as long as I have the space and I can make the space and remember to water my peppers in the winter, I'm going to overwinter those peppers, and I encourage you, please do that. It is such a time saver. Let's get out there. Let's just do a look. I do have my pruners here. I just disinfected them, so they're nice and clean. We probably will deadhead a few things as we go. May have to break this into 2 parts. I may do front yard garden tour and then backyard. And things are still evolving and changing, and I still have a lot of cleanup to do. I haven't finished all my projects, and the HOA is coming on the 1st, so I do need to do a lot of work out front this week. I think we'll start in the front yard and maybe break it up and do backyard part 2. So let's get busy. All right, guys, here we go. This is probably the worst time of day to do this because it's very sunny. We're gonna have lots of shadows. You can see my fern. It's a perennial fern with a bunch of heuchera, a few other things like creeping Jenny. And you can see the squirrels made a mess last night. I'm in the process of doing some work here on the steps. So that should look better soon. Lemon verbena. And then we've got the left side of the front porch. Honestly, I should probably do this tour later. I don't even know if you guys can see anything. Can you see this lily? Asiatic lily, beautiful. My showy evening primrose in the container is about done blooming. I'm gonna cut it back, see if it'll bloom again. But I have a lot of runners from last year. I couldn't remove them all. It's a very invasive plant. My sweet potato slips planted, and I thought, well, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and just try to grow some more since I've got these potatoes. So I've got a few more started, and let's see what else we got over here. I've got 3 containers of ground roses. This is my miracle pink rose. I'll put a picture of it. I need to do some deadheading, but it did look so beautiful. You can see the deer have been eating that strawberry. Got some pineapple mint right there. What do we got over there? Just some shrubbery type things, and I do have 2 of the sunshine ligustum, which are recovering after the deer tried to eat every single leaf. And we'll see some more of this in just a second. That is so pretty though. So pretty for such a short time. My catmint here in this container. I did plant some blackhead Susan vine, but they've not germinated to climb up this trellis along with the sweet potatoes. I'm hoping the petunias will just kind of trail out and down. So I think before we go farther this way, let me just show you a few things here. Remember when I really wanted that I can't even think this morning. It's really early. I've only had half a cup of coffee. African daisy, yes, and I paid all that money for it. Well, look at it. I'm going to have to dig it up and put it in the backyard in the shade. This is actually Million Bells from last summer that I put in the ground and overwintered, and then I dug it up and put it in this pot. So let's see what else we got going on here. This area needs to get worked on. I've got so many volunteers I need to relocate, like that spider flower, some coleus, but I've got this Lithidora I planted here in the front. I've got a green Rudbeckia. It's Green Wizard, I think. Look at all those little babies. Those are coleus. I'm so sorry. I need to do this again. I need to restart, right? I did plant those perennial spikes and the 4 o'clock. You can see they're taking off. 4 o'clock seeds. So we'll see more about this right side of the front porch later, but I also have the Asiatic lily blooming a lot, and some Dusty Miller there, the raspberry, blackberry, it was a blackberry. I tried to remove it last fall, but you can see it is everywhere. It is a mess, a mess. Really need to get in with a shovel and work on this bed, but there's some special things over there I need to show you real quick. But first, let me finish up this front bed. This is what a patio peach baby looks like. Need to dig him up, relocate him. A gorgeous, gorgeous non-bark here on the far right. And I keep lemon balm under him because they're prone to having these ugly gaps underneath due to pruning. And this lemon balm, it fills in those ugly gaps. And in fact, I just pruned this last night because my car was hitting it when I would back up. And even with the pruning, it doesn't look too ugly. Y'all probably can't even see because of the sun. I'm sorry. We'll see it again soon because I'm going to do a walkway redo video. So let's get up here. You can see I tried to get one of those solar little pumpy things, and it doesn't work well at all. Maybe I need a bigger bird bath. I don't know. But here's another view of the blackberry coming up everywhere. But isn't this a gorgeous image? If you ignore all the other mess, the Japanese white iris blooming that I got for Mother's Day last year. I love this so much. It is gorgeous. And you can see it's in a container, buried in the ground with lots of holes in it so that I can take it with me when we move. I divided it. I left some over here that I planted. This one's getting ready to bloom. That will stay when we move, but this whole pot I can just lift and take. The Dusty Miller is about ready to flower again. That's perennial here. Just a lot of work needs to happen. Chocolate milk. The chocolate mint is out of control, as well as the blackberries. Guys, I promise I'm normally more alert and active and able to speak. So when we redo this whole area soon and clean it up, I've got a rose to take the place of this rose. This rose is really old and it's got some disease, but it's a very sentimental rose, so I hate taking it out, but I think it's had its glory and day in the sun, and it's really been struggling the last 2 to 3 years. I could try to take some cuttings. I've not had luck with that in the past. If you know how successfully to do that easily, just comment below. But I have a double knockout rose we're going to put here instead, and I think it'll do really well here. Yeah, so we looked at the right side of the porch. We looked at the walkway here, and this is the back view of that non-bark and beautiful, beautiful patio peach that I love so much. That's one of my favorites here. Unfortunately, I will leave it behind when we move, but I have so many of its babies potted up. Maybe, I don't know, 7, 8, 9. It's just beautiful. I love to look at this, and I can see this when I look out from the kitchen through the dining room. You can see all the fruit. They're kind of not the sweetest fruit, and they're so tiny. You need a ton of them, but you can make jams or sweet things with them that you add sugar to. They're not like super sweet, so. And they're so tiny. I've never done that because it's a lot of work. I like things super easy. So I relocated all of these violas. They were left over from last fall. just to do like a mulch here with the patio peach. And then I've also got so many volunteer coleus babies coming up. So I really need to get in here and just hand weed because I don't want to pull them up. And then I also had planted some of the coleus I bought at that plant sale. This is one that I grew from seed. He's really slow growing and he's kind of stunted, as well as this one that I grew that is also stunted. And I think it's because of that soil I used for seed starting this year. But there are so many volunteers from last year. I've got okay, it took me a minute. Coleus. No, not coleus. Darn it. Celosia. Celosia. I have a million celosias, and they come back every year in the same spot. But I also have a million weeds, so we really need to get in here. Hands and knees, pulling, leaving stuff behind that's good, relocating the coleus because too much sun here for these little coleus babies. And the 4 o'clocks, I think will look really pretty. They can stay. And I also have some straw flower, which is incredible because I did not start any this year. These two are straw flower, but look at how similarly this weed looks to a straw flower. So you got to be careful sometimes. Okay, and then here's my second planter of sweet potatoes. So that's just going to be sweet potatoes, the black-eyed Susan vine if it germinates, and some petunia. Okay, so now we're back here. We're going to keep going. You can see Tonto is enjoying the morning before it gets super hot. Right, Tonto? Yeah. My iris already bloomed. I'll put a picture here. I think it's just white, but I didn't think it was white. I thought it was a different color. And that's okay. All this evening primrose needs to get removed again for like the second, third time. I should have a dahlia coming up right there, but it may not have made it. It's a zone 7 dahlia, but I don't know. I think I transplanted it way too late last fall before it had time to get roots into the soil to overwinter. And then there we go. There's that Sunshine Ligustum again. It's looking so much better. I don't know where the deer went, but maybe they're having their babies right now. I do have some snapdragons up in here. They have already bloomed. Well, they're getting ready to bloom again. I'll put some pictures. They're really pretty. I like the color with the red versus the color I had in there last year. This is Kaleidoscope Abelia. Then I've got a bunch of yarrow there in front of it. This is a container that I kind of relocated and repurposed some things late winter. Here is some aster that you can see the deer have been nibbling. So I guess they take a nibble and decide I do not like it, and then they don't eat it because this is supposed to be deer resistant. And this is also kind of invasive for me. I mean, I didn't plant it. It just came here on its own, but I was going to leave it because I think aster's pretty. And it blooms in the fall. Let's get a better view. Now this little corner here, I tried to remove all the lemon balm, but it just keeps coming back. So I planted snapdragon, and there are some snapdragons. There's a little yarrow I see too, but I do not see any of the calendula that I planted from seed. But I do see lemon balm that I don't want, and I see nutgrass. See, this is why you got to keep your soil covered. You'll end up with like this nutgrass that I hate. I hate this so much. Oh my gosh, I can't even pull it out. See? I'm going to have to get on my hands and knees with some tools. We'll do that later. A little bit of milkweed coming back, some more lemon balm. And that is that fire thorn that I worked on late winter. Kind of pruned it up. Looks a lot better. A lot of the things on this corner have already bloomed. So like the painted daisy, I'll put a picture. Gorgeous, stunning. So what we need to do right now is just do some cutbacks. Maybe we'll get a second flush if we're lucky. We might have to wait till next year, but it's beautiful. The foliage is basically evergreen. I have a few wallflowers still hanging on back through here, but I need to reseed if I want to keep them here. And you get, of course, all the like daffodils, they've already finished blooming because that was quite a while ago. Oopsie. Deer poop. Don't want to step in that. Tonto would love to eat that if I let him. Have a a shade patch. Now we're looking towards the backyard. A shade patch of columbine here. It's already done blooming, but I'll put a picture. Azaleas, they're done. I'll put a picture. Right now, well, probably 3 weeks ago is when I should prune them, fertilize them, mulch them. But I've had an ant colony, like vicious ants, so I haven't been over here to work. Try not to step in that poop. Peony is done. These hydrangeas are done. They never get a chance to bloom because the deer always eat them down. The interesting thing is that those were florist hydrangeas that come in the decorative pots. I just wanted to do an experiment, put them in the ground. They have been here for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and they always get eaten. So I don't have anywhere to put them, so they're just going to have to stay there and be munched on. Right, Tanta? Okay, so this brings us to our new bed that I just worked on, I don't know, what, January, February? Of course, my shadow is everywhere because of the sun. So some things are going on here, but they're slow. I did relocate the perennial spike. It is recovering. I just need to cut off the dead brown foliage, and then I've got different bulbs coming up, like white gladiolas, some peacock orchids, transplanted some snapdragons. This might be a little too much sun for them. They're looking a little not happy. And then I've got canna coming up, and then I should have some elephant ears coming up in the back. And it's taken them so long, I'm going to have to check on those bulbs. But there's that caladium there. I didn't really care for it, so I'm going to have it behind the elephant ears. Let me try to get out of the shadow here. These are my flying dragon orange. Got 2. And this whole space, I don't even know what to do with it. I may just put my roselle hibiscus here. I'm going to watch the sun today and make sure it gets enough sun. These are the blazing something's blazing star. So I have several patches of that right here. This is my mock orange. These are going to be glorious. They'll be blooming really soon. So I've got 3 petite orange dahlias in front. Then I've got bigger dahlias, dinner-sized plate dahlias there in the back. Those were all planted just, 6 weeks ago. I got rattlesnake master there for the back. It'll get huge and tall. So we got a kind of a tier of shapes and colors and sizes going upward. Some more blazing star. I can't wait to see this bloom. Now the bridal bush here, well, it's already bloomed, and now it just looks kind of ugly. So I'll just put a picture. You can look at that instead. But I think once everything comes in, it's going to look really pretty through here. And then I've been kind of using this as a walkway, but I could plant it. I've got my Rose of Sharon. It's a shrub, but I've been kind of treating it like a tree, and I do need to limit up some more. I got a white Rose of Sharon right in here in this container. And then we've got beautiful, beautiful, I think this is berries and cream maybe, yarrow. Got some soapwort. Transplanted some of those squashes. They look horrible. I actually will probably just pull them out of the ground. This soil here is really poor. I could probably get away with okra, which I've grown okra in this actual bed right in through here before. These squash are just not happy. Not happy at all. I did transplant, what is that? Scabiosa? Paper moon, scabiosa. Another abelia. Don't remember the name, but it sure does look pretty, right? So basically I have a sea of oregano in this bed, and I'm going to come prune it and or harvest it. I'm almost at the point of it's too late because it's getting ready to flower. So I need to get in here and cut this back. I need to get in here and harvest some before it flowers, because then we're going to have a billion seeds everywhere. Here's an onion flowering. Isn't that pretty? I use onions as deer and pest control in the garden. Some coneflower. And one that I just relocated, so he looks sad. He'll be Is he? And I got hardy hibiscus right here, Spice. That's the name of them, Spice hardy hibiscus. But They look horrible. I don't know what's going on. They look horrible this year. They've looked so pretty in years past. They do not look nice or happy. This is terracotta yarrow. It'll turn yellowy orange. Here's a bunch of feverfew. And then I've got this giant zebra grass here to cover up something that's ugly. It's like an old utility box from years ago that is obsolete, but it covers it up pretty good. My dahlia is blooming. We'll look at that, but here's a cone flower, and I think that's sea holly, maybe? I don't know. And then these are the lucifer bulbs. They should bloom maybe June, July-ish. My peonies are back there. I could maybe tie those back now that they're done blooming to give myself more space to get in here and work. But look at the dahlia. So pretty. So pretty. Some wallflower hanging on. More oregano, of course. This is just all oregano. I really need to work on it. Some more aster right next to that abelia. And I love this flower. This is Maltese cross. So pretty. More sea holly. It's getting ready to bloom. This will grow in poor soil, full sun, drought conditions. Oh, there's some clematis over there too. I did not tie up my clematis, so it is like all over the place. Dianthus hiding there, and then we've got our Shasta daisy trying to bloom. It will bloom soon. And I think we saw everything, but just from a different angle over there, so we can move on. We'll move on to this bed. This is the middle bed next to this far left bed. And I'm working on this bed too. And I got to get it done by the 1st. So there's bulbs here on the left. And then I've got my pomegranate, which is blooming. We'll see that when we walk all the way around to the other side of this bed. I'm going to have my African blue basil here this year because my pineapple sage, this is the structure from last year. You can see it was huge. I don't think it survived too well. There's a few sprouts, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as big as it was last year. And the pomegranate's huge, so maybe that worked out. Black knight, butterfly bush, huge. You can see it's starting to flower. It's so pretty, so big, so invasive. I've been digging up the babies and giving them away everywhere to everyone that'll take them. Another African blue basil here. And then pretty much just a corner of larkspur. Some bachelor buttons. And hardy hibiscus in these containers. Tied back the daffodils. So pretty. Alright, before we move up and finish up this bed, let me just come over here. Of course, I'm trying to avoid my shadow. So we got a barberry shrub here at the corner. And then you come up and we've got all of these spireas that have grown together. It's 3 separate plants. They are done flowering, but they were so pretty. And then I've got my gigantic red twig dogwood. That is huge. I should probably prune it. I stuck the obedient plant that I got at a plant sale back in there because he can take over and be wild and crazy. So I thought, well, we're going to limit his sun to keep him small. Here's my hardy hibiscus, Midnight Marvel or Midnight Madness, or one of them, one of the two. And then we're back at this bed so we can finish up this bed. I love these bachelor buttons. They're like a dark purple. This is Cosmo, seashell. More, some wallflowers here. And some butterfly bush weed. This is my favorite color, larkspur, the light purpley color. Got some more of that butterfly weed. And then look at these pretty pink snapdragons. I don't even know if y'all can see them because of the sun. And then I've got a hot Hungarian wax, and then I've got my overwintered jalapeno. Look at how gorgeous. I mean, this is why you overwinter your peppers. That just looks phenomenal. I've already picked 4 peppers off of that. Another pepper, I don't even know what it is. And now we are at the back side of that bed with the giant butterfly bush. And I've got gladiolas in the front and some old hanging on wallflowers that need to probably come out in a mess. But I don't think anybody can see the mess because of my big butterfly bush. I did put in 3 poblanos right here just because I didn't know where to put them. And then I've got my watermelons back there. I've got one on the right, one on the left there, and one is a seeded variety, one is seedless. So you want to grow those together. So I'm gonna weed this bed, clean it up, and hope that those 2 watermelons will take over this entire section and just kind of trail through. And I don't think the HOA will see it, but I don't know. I've also got a tomato hiding in there too. It's the indigo blue, so it should get really dark. So we're back at this corner where I have that pomegranate. And I've also got some lilies, stargazer lilies, getting ready to bloom. There's a container down in here. You can't see it maybe, but it has one of my favorite hardy hibiscus, which is variegated. And this is some rue that has flowered. It's producing a seed head. And salvia, I think it was just a broken piece a couple years ago that I stuck in this pot. And I think it's actually a whole plant now. Some more yarrow, some of my favorite aster, which is Lady in Black, but it's not looking the best. So I may need to work on this pot. Yeah, we need to work on some stuff here. And then we're back on this bed because I don't think I showed you the cat mint that's under the tree there, the shrub, the Rose of Sharon. Okay, so now we looked at those 2 big beds, and we looked at my front porch and the left side, and we looked at the right side. And so now we just have a couple areas left in the front yard, and then we'll be done with the front yard, which is good because sometimes I get tired of talking for so long. Some more larkspur, of course, self-seeded. This is another one of those stargazer lilies that the deer chopped it off. Some more sea holly, which does great here in this location. Some Russian sage, purple flowering. It flowers a purple delicate, kind of like lavender. Some more yarrow. This has to get trimmed. All of this does, even this shrub, because I back into it all the time and I can't see when I'm backing up to get onto the road. So all this needs to get trimmed again. Some things trying to struggle there in the shade of that. And you can see we had a storm come through. Look at this. There's another arborvitae I got on clearance in the winter, and I just stuck him in that pot. And some more Lady in Black aster. These peonies are in pots. I'm going to tie them up and put something annual in there. And then this just has to get weeded because I haven't even weeded this area. This is a major area I need to work on before the 1st because it looks horrible. So now we are going to go to the side yard. Sometimes I just do a tour of just the side area, but I'm going to try to add it in today. See if we can get through it, okay? So I just planted this little poor guy under the mailbox. He doesn't look too happy. And then this bed, I have not seeded it for 2 years. All of this is just perennial or self-seeded. What you see a lot of right now is coneflower and coreopsis or tick seed, which really has saved my butt this year. If this tick seed wasn't here, I would not have had any flowers bloom in the last month. They're about done. And I really need to clean this bed up because some of them are on the road. There's some Sweet William. You can see I found this pretty sign though. That's cute to kind of hold this guy back, but I need to cut this. I mean, I don't think people want to drive down the road with plants. I don't know, maybe they do. Maybe it's pretty. Just lots and lots of green at the border here of the property line, and lots of coneflower. So yeah, I'm gonna pause. I just needed to take a break because I was just talking so much. So also at the corner of this big bed is some yarrow, more larkspur. The problem area is this crepe myrtle. I do not like crepe myrtles. They produce suckers and runners everywhere. I've actually got 2 trees of crepe myrtle right now because I didn't dig them up last fall, and now they're probably well established, and that's going to be a pain in the butt for me. There's a bunch of butterfly milkweed back in through there too, and then I've got regular milkweed everywhere. You can see it's starting to flower. It's so pretty. It really is unique if you look at it. It's really pretty, and so tall. I never thought they would get that tall, but they're really tall. Here's some aster and some more tick seed. The lilies have already kind of started to fade back, but I'll put a picture here. More oregano. Should have not have put that there, I'm sure. All right, we're not even gonna climb back in there, but there's a huge rosemary, a beautiful huge rosemary. There's another artichoke back in there on that corner. And yeah, we're just gonna climb in over here. The raised bed area is up there at the top. This is my red bee balm. You see, it's so pretty. It's supposed to be powdery mildew resistant, this variety. It's Jacob's Climb, but I don't know. I think it still struggles somewhat. Another zebra grass here. But I just worked on this area the other day. This looked totally different. It was just a mess. But I planted 3 short dahlias kind of in that area. I planted some peach 4 o'clock seeds kind of over in there. And then I'm hoping my holy basil comes back. This is where it usually comes back every year. But I put in those gomphrena that I grew from seed. And then there's a few zinnias I transplanted in the back. And I have a walkway now, which is nice. It's kind of color-coded, so let's get up in here. I even weeded under this. I planted a cucumber seed in this planter. Here is the artichoke. This is beyond picking because the flower buds have separated so much, the petals. But I'm going to let it flower and see what it looks like. And then this whole area I worked on too. So it looks so nice and tidy. More butterfly weed, lots of milkweed back here. And I put some dill seeds down here for the butterfly, the swallowtails. In this area, I've got my lemongrass I just planted, and this pin cushion here in this container. And I should have some dahlias coming up in here. That's why I put that cage, but I don't see them. The deer have been coming through and eating all my strawberry leaves. But this is a dahlia from a couple years ago. This is, I don't even know what color that is. Some more Maltese crosses, about done. Yeah, so let's just see if we're done looking here. I put in different seeds all through here. I don't even know what I planted. I should have taken pictures. Transplanted emerald, gem, cantaloupe. Doesn't look too good, to be honest. Volunteer blue borage. Another hardy hibiscus. And this was a great experiment. This dahlia was an annual dahlia I put in the ground, and it overwintered. A problem back here with these peppers. Something's eating the crap out of them. Look. So what do you think? I don't know. Some mountain mint in that container. This is my penstemon. It's so pretty. It's about done though. There's a bee there. Really happy. I do have some baby penstemons. I had 3 volunteer babies I dug up and put in a container. So that was kind of exciting too. So I kind of left off working right here the other day. I need to get back and keep working my way down. It's just kind of a mess. It's a lot. It really is a lot to deal with. It does get overwhelming, but the Siberian irises, they flowered. And now we're just waiting on the seeds. I collect the seeds every year. I have so many. But they do look so pretty, and the deer don't eat them. All right, so let's climb out of this area and get back out. Okay, so this is the front side of the area we were just behind. And you can't really tell there's anything back there, really. And this daisy thing is huge. I can't believe how huge it's gotten. That'll bloom in October. Strawberries over here about done. I'm still waiting on the seeds from this collard. They're almost ready. Almost. I can't wait. Because it takes up, look, it takes up all that space. I can't even access things over here. Well, we got some beautiful poppies about done. This is my poblano experiment container for this year. It's really getting hot out here too. Got a couple shorter tomatoes in this container with garlic and calendula. I've got a honeydew right there. I'm hoping he will climb up that trellis, but we'll see. Some kale there. Beautiful snapdragons. Sun-tolerant hydrangea. And this is a bed of peppers where I'm doing California versus Carolina Wonder pepper. This is one of my overwinter peppers here in the ground. I think it's Gypsy. Another pepper, I think that's Carmine. And then I've got 3, what are these guys? Jimmy Nardellos right here. Yep, 3 Jimmy Nardellos. And I've got some more hardy hibiscus in containers, two varieties. And I had peas growing under here. And I think they're about done. And let's see. There's a tomato here with some carrots. You can't even tell the difference because it has foliage that look like carrots. It's called silvery fir. Okay, and so we're going to start the next tour at the raised bed area in the backyard. We'll do backyard and raised bed area. I do have this rose moss here growing, these planters, and they have done really well. I might do that again next year. And then back in the corner is my hellebore primrose. Hey guys, that was the end of the tour, but the video shut off. But I wanted to end with the picture of the primrose when it was blooming. I'll see you in part 2. Hope you're having a great gardening day.